Hey guys, what is up? It is Jay, and I wanted to make a quick video just to discuss the books that I am currently reading, and I think at the end I might throw in a small book haul because I picked up a few books. This might also kind of be a wrap-up. I don't really know. So I recently finished reading The Well of Ascension, the second book in the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson, and my UK cover never did arrive. Book Depository actually refunded me, so I still have this crappy American one. I mean, it's not that bad. But I like the UK ones definitely a lot better. I really enjoyed reading this one, especially the ending. Like, the ending was just amazing. And I just recently started the third book, which is The Hero of Ages, and I'm really enjoying that so far. But I definitely want to get, like, individual reviews for each of these books up once I am done reading the series. The Mistborn series. I would highly, highly recommend if you like fantasy books. I am really enjoying it. I can already tell it's going to be one of my favorite fantasy series. The magic system is amazing. It's definitely one of the best magic systems I've read in a fantasy series, so if you're interested, definitely check this series out. I've heard the Stormlight Archive is even better than the Mistborn books, so I am totally excited to start reading that after I'm done with this series. And then in my college textbook here, I read a few Shakespeare sonnets, as well as some Elizabeth I, some of her writing. And then next I'm going to be starting John Milton, I think later this week, so I'll be reading that. I'm also currently buddy reading The Eye of the World, which is the first book in the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, which I'm sure you have heard of. If you haven't, it's a gigantic fantasy series, and I am really enjoying this book so far. Like, I'm enjoying it more than I was expecting, which is funny because I thought I would be expecting to enjoy it, but I'm enjoying it more than that, so that says something. I can already see that this is a classic. It is definitely up there with Tolkien. Like, if you want to be completely enveloped in a fantasy world, then jump into this series because it has a whole world out there, and it has different customs, different cultures, and I love it. I also started reading The Slower Guard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss. I'm kind of surprised I haven't read this yet. It's book like 2.5 in the Kingkiller Chronicle, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It doesn't really have much to do. Well, it does, but it doesn't have any, like, huge plot relating to the main plot of the series. It's more of just a side book from the perspective of a character named Ori, and I'm really liking it. It's definitely a vastly different writing style. But considering Ori is one of my favorite characters, I am sure I'm gonna like this book. I guess this is also kind of gonna be a bit of a wrap-up because I'm mentioning books that I already read as well. So actually earlier in October, I finished listening to the audiobook of Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie, and I really enjoyed that book. It was not as slow as I was expecting, and I actually already have a review up for that. If you want to learn more about my thoughts, I'll leave that in the description. But yeah, I'm definitely getting pretty excited for the film adaptation, the new film adaptation. I mean, there's been a lot of them. Speaking of audiobooks, I have a few audiobooks that I'm currently reading or listening to. One of them is From a Certain Point of View. This is a collection of 40 different Star Wars short stories that take place during A New Hope, and you get a lot of different views because, like, each short story is a different character. You get stories from a Jawa, a Tusken Raider, a droid, General Tarkin, and just a ton of different characters that you don't get the perspective of in the movies. So far, I'm really enjoying the short stories. I mean, the majority of them are filler. There's a few in there that I really disliked because they were just badly written, but for the most part, I'm really enjoying it. And if you haven't listened to a Star Wars audiobook, I would recommend that almost over reading them because I really enjoy the sound effects, and they have different voices for the droids and Darth Vader, and I really like having a bunch of effects and stuff in audiobooks. I'm also currently listening to The Way of Shadows by Brent Weeks. I've already read this book in paperback format, but I'm rereading it through audio. This first book, in short, is about a young street urchin who is apprenticed by a master assassin, but of course there is a lot more to the book than just that. Alright, so moving on to a quick little book haul. I picked up The Name of the Wind, the 10th anniversary edition. There's also another one on my shelf over there. In case you are not aware, me and my friend at Elf Books are doing a giveaway for 2 copies of the 10th anniversary edition, as well as 8 copies of the normal paperback edition. But this book is so beautiful. It's got these beautiful red pages, and I've been looking through the illustrations, and it is just amazing. There is some, like, currency exchange stuff in the back, as well as a pronunciation guide, which is really helpful. So the giveaway ends on the 31st, and by the time I put this video up, it's probably the 31st or the 30th. So if you have time and have not joined the giveaway and there's still time, you should definitely go and join it if you're interested in winning a copy of this book or one of the paperback versions of The Name of the Wind. I picked up Out of the Silent Planet by C.S. Lewis. This is the first book in C.S. Lewis's space trilogy, and I actually didn't know there was a space trilogy for a long, long time. But I'm really excited to read this one because I am a big fan of the Chronicles of Narnia, and I read a bit of this in the bookstore, and it just seemed really good. I love C.S. Lewis's writing, so I definitely want to read this soon. It's very thin. The other books seem to get, thicker, almost per book, I think, but all I know about this book is that it is about a man named Dr. Ransom, and he gets abducted by a physicist or something who takes him into a spaceship and flies him to this red planet called Malcar. I don't even know the name of the planet, and that's kind of all I know about this book, and that's all I want to know for now, but I'm really excited to read this one. The next book I was sent by Lit World Publishing to do a review, and this book is the first book in the Feral series, which is a Russian series translated to English. This book is called More Than a Game by A. Vasiliev. I can't pronounce that. Now, usually I'm really hesitant when I'm asked to review a book because I get a lot of people emailing me about books that it's not really in my interest at all, and you can kind of see that from my channel, but this book definitely sounds like it's in my interest. The main character is a journalist in Moscow, and he gets a job where he has to go and experience this virtual reality world and basically write about it, but he ends up liking the virtual reality much more than he expected. Got a bunch of MMO RPG stuff going on, which I am a big fan of, so I'm kind of excited to read this one. I'm hoping the translation is done pretty well. I'll definitely mention that when I put a review up for this book. Next, I picked up the Canterbury Classic edition of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table by Sir Thomas Malroy, and I love these Canterbury Classic editions. I have the Grimm's Fairy Tale edition, but I've been meaning to get my hands on this one, and I found it for $18, so I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, look at it. It's just really beautiful. I read Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, but I haven't really read anything else on King Arthur, at least I don't think so. So I really gotta get to reading this. So those are all the books that I am currently reading, as well as some books that I finished, as well as a book haul. This video is kind of a mess. Let me know the books that you are currently reading, and yeah, I guess that's it for now, so I will see you guys later.